everyone. Hello, our viewers. How are all of you? I'm doing great. I'll tell you why. The NBA season has begun. David, do you want to talk a little bit about that first game between the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers?
In a repeat of the Western Conference Finals, the Lakers have now lost 5 games in a row to Denver. And I want to talk about some standout performances. Nikola Jokic had his usual night, which is a standout performance for anyone else in the league, where he made 54.5% of his shots, made 3 threes, and grabbed 13 rebounds and dished out 11 assists. As he continues to be probably one of the most dominant players I've ever seen. Jamal Murray also kicked butt tonight, shooting 8 for 13. Also made 3 threes out of 5. Made all his free throws and had 6 assists. On the other side, LeBron had a good night.
21 points.
21 points on 10 shots, which is still pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
Taurean Prince, who I don't think I've ever seen Taurean Prince play before, but he had a pretty good night too. He scored 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting, which is also impressive. But I've also got a few lowlights for the Lakers. Anthony Davis made about a third of his shots tonight. He's supposed to be their best player. Although, I don't know if you saw those highlights. He had an awesome block. Early in the game on Jokic. It was pretty impressive.
Where he hammered it right in between the backboard and the rim. I saw that.
Yeah. And then for another low light, I know this is only a 1-game sample size, but I feel vindicated that Gabe Vincent was a bad pickup for the Lakers, because that guy is so streaky. Like, you never know what you're gonna get from him, and he made 3 of 8 shots, went completely cold from 3, going 0 for 4. And didn't really do much else. Had 2 turnovers, had 2 assists, all in 22 minutes where he was starting in Miami. Now he's playing 22 minutes for the Lakers, and again, similar to how he was in Miami, he is not a good player.
So of those 2 teams that I believe you picked Denver for number 1 and Los Angeles Lakers number 2 in your standings.
I did.
It's obviously going to be Denver coming out of the West for you then.
I mean, 1-game sample size, but yeah, I have Denver winning again this year.
In addition, we are talking about several different things tonight. We're going to get to our way too early regular season predictions and who we think is going to win certain awards. Notable to mention that there's also some things going on around the league. There's conversation about Wemby being a first-time All-Star or potentially a Defensive Player of the Year. We'll get to that in a minute. Steven Adams had a season-ending surgery and is out for the Memphis Grizzlies, unfortunately. Emmanuel Quickley, Sadiq Bey, Patrick Williams, Obi Toppin, and Precious Achua did not receive rookie extensions, so they may be on the move in the season to come. Montrezl Harrell was waived by the Philadelphia 76ers. There's several rookies that have signed shoe deals with Nike. Victor Wembanyama being one of those. Brandon Miller. The Thompson brothers. And then Keontae George is who I like from the Utah Jazz, among several others. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
And then Giannis signed his extension with the Milwaukee Bucks, $186 million over 3 years. And Andre Iguodala officially announced his retirement. So you were accurate on that, David, about the oldest player in the NBA. So I apologize. You were right, my man. Okay, now jumping in to our early predictions for regular season awards. So where do you want to start? Should we save MVP for the end?
Or why don't we start with dude, I don't get, so I've looked at the predictions on different websites. I don't understand how you can be picking most improved player at the beginning of the season.
It's just who you think's going to be the most improved player.
All right, well, let's start with that one,
Okay.
Because that is the most meaningless.
No. The most meaningless is the executive of the year, which I never pick anyway, so I hope you didn't pick someone. If I had to say someone, maybe the Celtics because of the good moves that they made, or the Bucks.
Yeah, I would pick the Celtics.
But anyways, okay, so most improved player. Who do you have, or who are the candidates for most improved player potentially?
So the odds have Austin Reeves plus 1,400, Kate Cunningham 1,300, Jordan Poole 1,100, Tyrese Maxey at 1,000, and Mikal Bridges at 800 plus 800.
Okay, those are the names that I had on my list as well. My vote for most improved player is Tyrese Maxey, and that's because James Harden is nowhere to be found currently. So I think he'll have an opportunity to shine in Philly. And it's all up in the air with Joel Embiid right now. Who knows what's going to happen there. So, How about you?
I'm going to regret this. I'm going to pick Jordan Poole.
No way, man.
Yes.
No way. I mean, yes, he did really good with the Golden State Warriors, but there's no way he's going to get that much better.
Well, I mean, he's a really good player. He just was in the wrong situation.
He has some good games and some bad games, though. I feel like his percentage is generally not that good. So that's my take. I could be wrong. Who knows? And I guess we'll find out. Again, these are way too early regular season predictions.
All right. Do you want to pick Coach of the Year next?
Yeah, let's do it. There were a couple on this one. I can't even pronounce the name of Mark. What's his last name?
Daignault.
Daignault. Yep.
I think it's Daignault.
Okay, and then I saw Frank Vogel on there, Chris Finch perhaps, Eric Spoelstra, Bickerstaff of the Cavaliers. I would probably say OKC, and reason being is that correlates with how high I had them in the standings in the West.
Okay. I'd probably pick the same one.
Okay.
I think.
No surprise there,
think,
though. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think Oklahoma will be significantly better this coming year than last year. They got way better players, but I think the coach will have to help them mesh and make sure that this works. So
absolutely,
so yeah, I'm going with OKC.
Okay. How about sixth man of the year?
Sixth man of the year. I've got Emmanuel quickly here.
Okay. Since you said that one, he was one that I was considering, but I'll say Malik Monk of the Sacramento Kings. So I think he'll do a lot better this year. He did good in past years, but I heard what his teammates have said about him, and his positivity is rubbing off on people. So I think that has a lot to do with that. Positive chemistry in their locker room and things. So I will say Malik Monk, and yeah, what do the odds say in regards to those players?
So Derek White plus 1,300, Malik Monk 1,100, Norman Powell plus 1,000, Malcolm Brogdon plus 800, and Emmanuel Quickly plus 800.
Okay, cool. So you went with the safe bet.
We picked the two highest ones.
Gotcha. I like it. I like it. Okay. Rookie of the Year is always exciting. Maybe we should go with Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and then MVP. I don't know if I've missed a couple others. So Defensive Player of the Year, candidates there. Who do you have?
Candidates according to NBC Sports would be Anthony Davis plus 1,000, Bam Adebayo plus 900, Giannis plus 750, Evan Mobley plus 650, Jaren Jackson Jr. plus 450.
Okay. I saw different things.
Yeah, you might have a different website than
potentially.
I looked at.
Yep, I had Bam though. Evan Mobley was on there, of course. Jaren Jackson Jr. again, AD, and then they even said Wemby. And I know you're not a fan of Wemby being on there since he hasn't even played a regular season game yet.
Play a freaking game, and then we can start talking.
It's because of that picture that's everywhere of him blocking Andrew Wiggins' 3-point shot. I'm sure you saw that, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw another meme that shows Wemby reaching over Ray Allen's shot, and they said Wemby would have blocked that one. You know, the one where he shot with the Heat and beat the Spurs?
Yep.
Anyways, that's pretty funny. So my pick for that is Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he'll repeat.
Yeah, I've got Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley. Okay. Awesome. I know he was high last year in the polls. Interested to see how he does. Okay, so discussing Rookie of the Year, there are several good candidates, and I'll say these ones because I know who they are. There's Scoot Henderson, Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, Brandon Miller, and then there's others. And I don't even think we need to say any others. Just because everybody's voting for Wemby, I'm going to be a little bit different and say I have Scoot winning Rookie of the Year. Who's your pick?
Probably Wembanyama, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think with Dame out of the way in Portland, Scoot has an opportunity to play. So that's why I'm picking Scoot overall. I think he'll lead that team. They've got a decent team over there too. I know I put them a little bit higher in the standings, but obviously not a playoff team. They may surprise people though. So I'm hoping for the best there. I had the Spurs down low. I said Wemby would be a bust. After seeing him play in those last few games, the preseason games, I'm like, wow, I'm actually really impressed with him. But just to go against the crowd, I always root for the underdog. So you're picking Wemby, and I am picking Scoot Henderson. It is on record.
All right. Let's see what happens.
And finally, MVP. Who you got, man?
The person who should have won it last year. My boy, Nikola Jokic.
Okay, that's a good choice, man. I am hearing lots in the news that Tatum is the front runner for MVP right now.
Get out of here.
I know. I don't agree at all either. So no
Jason
Tatum.
Tatum is a great regular season stat stuffer, and he's not clutch. He's not. I don't know. I don't see how he's. I mean, I guess weirder people have won it, right? Like Steve Nash won it all those years over Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
When both of those guys were way better than Steve Nash and were way more valuable for their team.
I wouldn't say way better, but they did have better statistics. And you often see like things on the internet that say, really, was Steve Nash supposed to win over Kobe? Look at these statistics and those types of things. Yeah. So I think a lot of the times favoritism goes into MVP, who's boosting their team, that type of thing. Jason Tatum could probably be up there, but if you ask yourself, is he really a better player than so-and-so, like Jokic? I would say no. I'd say no way. No. So I don't always agree with what they do with MVP as far as who they award it to. My pick is also Jokic.
Yeah, I think Jokic should have won it last year over.
I agree too.
Embiid.
I agree too, and I think that was kind of a pity on him, honestly.
Yeah, well, let's see if Embiid ever accomplishes anything again. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I like Embiid. I actually like Embiid. I just Jokic is just a better player.
That's another thing in the news that I forgot to mention is Embiid may be on his way out of Philly. There's been trade requests. Well, not a trade request, but potential trades that the Knicks have put out. So, anyways, back to what you were saying.
Yeah. I guess. I wonder if Luka were to leave the Mavs, or if the Mavs were to significantly overperform, if he should be considered a serious MVP candidate.
Yeah, his name's been thrown in there several years in a row, and then the Mavs don't make enough noise for him to actually be up there. He is a wonderful player. I think he'll do fine. I don't have him as MVP yet. I think down the road in a couple of years, yes. I have Jokic, Giannis, and maybe Tatum in that order.
Jokic, Giannis, Tatum. Okay. Yeah, that's probably where I'm at too. Unless the Mavs significantly overperform, then I've got everything on Luka. But I don't think they will. So yeah, I think I've got Jokic.
Okay. I think that's a pretty safe bet for both of us. Here's additional fun things that I found that I thought would be interesting to throw in here. Who do you think's going to be the scoring leader this season? Devin Booker. Okay. That's cool. That's a good pick. And that's good of you to come up with him on the spot. Because if you ask me, I'd say, I don't know. I don't know who's going to go crazy and who's going to win the scoring title. I saw an article that said Jordan Poole with the Wizards because he could be averaging 35 points a game because he has no one else on his team. The next best player is Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, no, I'm
so
after last year's playoffs, watching Devin Booker play in the playoffs last year, kind of convinced me.
He shoots a lot of twos though instead of 3-pointers, and that really does make a difference.
Right, but overall, twos are more likely to go in.
That's true.
You
bring up a good point.
The 3-point shot is more valuable to an extent. Obviously because it's 3 points, but if you shoot 33% of your threes and you make 50% of your twos, you're still getting this, equivalent, right? Because it's 33% of 100 threes would be 99 points, and 50% of your twos is 100 points. The difference is 1. But Devin Booker, I mean, he's not a bad 3-point shooter. That's I'll throw that in his defense. He's just I just think he's probably a little smarter about his shot selection.
Cool. That's a good way of putting it. Okay, so you picked Devin Booker. I like that. What about rebound leader?
I don't know whether to pick Embiid or Jokic here.
Okay. Jokic does get a lot of rebounds. I'd say Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good pick.
So, assist leader.
Assists. That's a good one. I don't have anyone in mind. Who do you have in mind for assists?
There's a lot of good players out there. Maybe Tyrese Halliburton of the Pacers, or potentially Chris Paul with his new role. He's got a lot of lethal shooters on his team.
Dude, you really like Chris Paul on the Warriors.
I'm interested to see how that goes.
Have you seen how he's doing tonight?
Yeah, not great. Yep. Okay. Steals leader.
That's a good one. Yeah, I'm not prepared for that one either.
You're good, man. No worries. Jimmy Buckets. That's who I'm picking.
That's who I thought.
Really?
But I just who was it last year? Was it him?
I don't remember who it was last year. Honestly, I don't normally look these up, but in the article that I looked at with a lot of statistics, I was like, whoa, these are cool questions. So I figured we'd also bring them up. So
yeah, I mean, Jimmy Butler is really good at stealing the ball. Like, I know that. I just didn't. I just don't know if he leads the league. I know he's always up there.
Yeah.
So last year, steals was Anunoby, then DeLon Wright, then Jimmy Butler.
Okay. I would even go as far as to say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a pretty good defender.
Yeah,
could be up there.
He's there too. He's number 5.
Yep.
And actually, going back to assists, the leader last year was James Harden, probably because he never steps up to the plate. Somebody else has to do it.
That's funny. No, I would say probably because he had a good duo. It was like a Stockton to Malone kind of thing. It was James Harden
that was a good duo.
to Joel Embiid, you know? If they kept it together, man, they could be a really good duo. But okay, how about blocks leader?
Jared Jackson last year had a half a block more per game than
any other player. Yeah.
So probably Jared Jackson. That's insane. Like, he's got 3. The next guy has 2.5.
It's generally tall people, always centers, right?
Yeah.
I'd go as far as to say Anthony Davis could be up there this year. He's been fantastic in preseason. How about we throw out Wemby again? You're gonna love that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, and then here's the last question for you. Technical foul leader. Who will that be? Who will get the most technical fouls? I got 2 people in mind. I want to see if you come up with the same ones.
Do you think Ja Morant can do it?
Oh, technical fouls? No. I mean, Ja gets technicals, yes, but I don't think he's going to be the leader. I'll give you a hint. Ja Morant had a...
what's that dork who was trying to insult LeBron? What's his name?
Poke the bear, Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
That's one of them. That's who it is.
Such a dork.
Okay, so I got Dylan Brooks, and I have Draymond Green. So Draymond loses his cool a lot of the time and gets a lot of technicals. So those are my 2 players.
Actually, Draymond Green led last year for most technical fouls.
Did he?
He got 16. Then after him,
oh my goodness.
Actually, this is surprising. Luka is number 2.
Yeah, Luka complains a lot. Luka complains a lot.
Yeah. Trae Young, Dylan Brooks is number 3. Trae Young number 4. Anthony Edwards is number 5.
There, you know what else is interesting? Another topic that was in the NBA was that the Golden State Warriors should retire Kevin Durant's jersey when he retires. And I'm like,
probably not.
It's only there 2 years, but if you take into account that he did more for the organization to win championships than, say, John Stockton or Karl Malone ever did for the Jazz, right?
No, I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure. I agree with that.
I know it's a hard conversation to put out there because he was just in there quickly. It's like, are they really gonna retire his jersey, even though he was there such a short time?
I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but I think I don't believe that that Cleveland won that championship without some interference. There, I said it. Dude, they suspended Draymond on the night that they were gonna put it away.
Yep.
That Cleveland title is like the biggest asterisk ever. I
don't know. I'd say the bubble, man, and those are both with LeBron.
No, no, not the bubble is fine. That Cleveland championship was a lot of BS. So, like, the Warriors seemed to conveniently just fall apart. Like, it was bizarre. Draymond gets suspended in Game 5 when the Warriors have a 3-1 lead. I don't know. I don't want to call it rigged. I'm not that kind of person. Like, I never assume a conspiracy, but I too many weird things happened that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't give. I mean, that team should have won, and all Kevin Durant did was go to that team.
They all took pay cuts so that they could create cap space for him, so that they could have a better team to win multiple championships. Right. That's kind of what they did.
And then they won, but at the end of the day, like they. You know, that was already a championship team. Even if that bizarre even if Cleveland got that bizarre championship.
Imagine if they hadn't. LeBron would only have 3 championships right now. Half of what MJ has. Steph Curry would have another one in his bag. Crazy, man. Crazy. Crazy to think how history could have been changed. Thanks everyone for watching for all things NBA, and to stay up to date, hit that subscribe button and follow along. We'll see ya next time.